What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Shibui Anime Tavern, and we have a different tavern twosome with us today. My name is Mayogetsu, and with me is Jason.
What's going on?
And today we're discussing episode 2 of Delicious in Dungeon. So what do you think about this episode, Jason? I thought it was about as good as the first one.
Yeah, it was about as calm as the first one as well. I think it's still more of them in the character development parts of the series, I guess. Kind of like the first episode was all about Laos and his hidden love for trying creatures as cuisines in dungeons. This one was more kind of give a little bit more on Marcel and what's the other
guy?
Yeah, the rogue guy. Yeah. Chill Chunk, I believe.
Chill Chunk or something like that. Chill Chunk.
Yes. Yeah, Chill Chunk. So, it was pretty good. Like I said, it was more chill and kind of just...
I feel like that's going to be the general vibe for this anime. It's just kind of chill, you know? It's about, they're in dungeons and, like, killing monsters and stuff, but they're also, like, you know, making recipes and, like, you know, making mandrakes and stuff.
Yeah, but also, the mandrakes. But it also just feels like eventually something's got to happen, and I feel we'll get that maybe in episode 3 or 4. But it was more just the mandrake. Also, that the mandrake part was more of Marcel's, I want to say, like, character redemption, like kind of you seeing like how she fits in the group. Besides just being just magic, she proved
and her method of gathering the mandrake was actually useful. It actually changed how the food tasted, and I forget the guy's name, man. I'm not going to remember anybody's name in this series. Senshi was actually, you know, applauding her for like, oh, you're right, it did make a difference, when he's just like rips them out and cuts their heads off.
Right, because most of the time throughout the episode, Marcel felt like she was useless, like she was like a burden, and like this in the end, like at this part of the episode, you know, since she's like, hey, listen, I was always trying to take like the easiest path, and sometimes maybe it's the hardest path that works best for cuisines, and he commended her for like her method of catching it, even though it's pretty funny when the bat when she used the bats to pull the mandrakes out and ended up dragging it towards her, and she, like they see her and she's all like, you know, bug-eyed and like it's like loopy, and it was pretty good. I thought that was pretty funny. But no, it was like I said, that was her kind of like redemption of the episode, showing that she does, you know, mean a part in the group, and how those omelets look good. I didn't care if it was hers or the other one. I was like, man, that's a good looking omelet.
I don't even like omelets, and they look decent, man. I was like, yeah.
They always do it. They know how to sell
the
food.
episode kind of opens with her having a nightmare.
Oh, about food, yeah.
Yeah, about food. I guess her mom's in the dream, and they're like, oh, well, here's all this good food I made, and it's all like monsters ripped apart and like
and then like I guess a party was across from them in like a tree, and she could smell their foods, and that's how Senshi kind of knew what she was craving. He's like, you know, something with a little bit of protein or fat, I can't remember, but yeah, that's why he whipped up the food. The best part, also the end, when at the end he rewarded her for the way she caught the mandrake and how it was better than his. He gave her the heads of the mandrake. He's like, this is the best part of the meal, and she's like, I'm not eating that. That was pretty funny.
Sweet part of it.
Yeah. But that was like more her, like, I guess, filling in her character and the need for her in the party, besides just being magic. And then we get to like Chill Chunk, and you find out this kid's like master, like rogue almost, like.
Yeah, this kid knows what he's doing when it comes to traps and stuff like that. He disarms all of them basically, and then Senshi just comes walking in, barreling all over him, and starts setting the traps off, and he's like, oh shit, stop.
Right.
And they actually find there's like a fire trap, and he, you know, Senshi is like, oh, that's oil we could use, and, you know, Chill Chunk is like, no, it's not going to be something edible. So he makes him, you know, go discover what it is, basically, by disarming all the other traps and then getting to the chests. And sure enough, it is. It's olive oil.
Yeah. What a coincidence. But, I mean, they explained why it was olive oil, too. Like, olive trees.
And it made sense.
Yeah, olive trees used to be big in those parts before, like, the dungeon, like, the cursed dungeon, like, kind of destroyed them. So there was plenty of, like, reserves of olive oil. But, yeah. And then fried food. Woo!
Fried food. That's what it's all about.
Everything's better fried. Yeah.
It is.
So, and like Marcille's, it was her conflict with Senshi. Well, basically, it's Chill Chunk's conflict with Senshi. Like, you know, Chill Chunk was always saying, you know, I listen, like, traps are my thing, food is your thing, you got to listen to me. Because Senshi was just stepping on traps, not caring. And it at times put the party at risk. And
it was kind of ignorant, too. Like,
yeah,
you could tell he was being kind of a dick about it.
Well, at times I even got annoyed with Senshi. I was like, you got to understand this is a party, like a team. It's not an I understand you're used to things, but like this is how Chill Chunk and everybody else does their things. And that was kind of the conflict between the two for a little bit. But like you know, and even Senshi kind of had Chill Chunk cook as well. And he's like, well, technically you're supposed to be managing the fire, which is a trap. So that's your expertise. And it became like, you know, a puffing chest type thing. Like, well, that's my expertise.
he did eventually come around to like, oh, hey, you know what, you're right, and I respect your abilities, and I should listen to what you have to say in regards to this. And it was kind of back and forth like that. They both kind of gained some respect for each other, I think.
Right. And yeah, even at the end when Senshi was like, Chill Chunk, you got to be one of the best navigators through a dungeon. Like, you got to be one of the best, you know, trap finders I've ever seen. And that, I think, and that's like at the end of the episode, it was pretty much like, I feel like them concluding all the character development, at least for this main party, because even in the end, like, even Senshi was just like, man, it's gonna really suck when like we end this dungeon and we all split or go our separate ways. So I feel like now that we've like learned the 4 characters and like what they're set and needed for in the party, it's time to move forward. Like I said, the first 2 episodes are really soft and light, and like I was like, there's got to be some more conflict than just them trying to eat the whole time. But yeah, that's the whole gist for this. The whole second episode was them. They met another party in the episode. One was poisoned, and it was like at the beginning, and Senshi had to help them by cooking food that had the ailment to the poison. It was the basilisk chicken snake thing.
Yes. Yep. And they actually had a scene where they, you know, determined how to like basically trick the thing sort of by attacking both ends at the same time, and then they, you know, battle the thing real quick. But going back to the mandrake, my favorite part of this episode is when she, you know, gets the bats to pull the mandrake out, but it still screams. And when you hear the screams of it, it makes you like either go insane or like all kinds of bad stuff happens.
Right.
So it ends up happening to her, and she has the most like goofy ass look on her face.
Yeah, her eyes are like there.
Not there.
And she's mumbling her words. Yeah.
Yeah, her eyes are like going the opposite directions and shit.
It was so good.
That was very funny.
Oh yeah, that's going in the thumbnail.
Yeah, it should definitely.
That and one of my favorite parts was when they were facing the basilisk, the chicken snake creature. Laos and his dance. It wasn't even a dance. He's like, you gotta act big and be loud and like spread your arms and be bigger. Oh my god, that was so
screaming.
Good. It was a more intimidating Bomb Biddy Bomb from like 8 Crazy Nights or whatever, but it was pretty funny. But that was funny. Yeah, but that was really cool. The strategic thing between Laos and Senshi when they took out the basilisk, like you're like, well, you know, if one is attention's divided, the other one can see it, but if you're attacking at the same time, both of their attention's divided, and that's when you can strike. And that was pretty cool. And then they had pretty much a super gourmet chicken meal with this party that they helped out, and it even helped Marcille like appreciate the food more, even though they're like, well, snake meat tastes like chicken meat, and you know, so she still ate it. Like, she still has issues eating this dungeon food, but at times she's just like,
it's getting a little better though, it seems like.
Yeah. Right.
I think once they get to some of the lower floors, the stakes are gonna be a lot higher.
Right.
I mean,
The deeper they
ultimately,
get
they're
or whatever.
trying to get back to Lao's sister.
Yeah.
To
Yep.
before she gets digested by the dragon. So, I mean, so overall, I think it was pretty on par with the first episode. I like this one a little bit better. It gives you a little bit more, insight into each one of the characters individually, and
Yeah.
gives you a couple. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it just sets up, like, I guess, making you have some sense of, like, attachment to the characters now.
Yeah.
Now that we understand all of their intentions and, what their meaning is and, why they're there. So, oh, yeah. Like I said,
And really
I feel
what skills they bring. 'Cause,
right. Well, hopefully, episode 3, like I said, provides us both more action. But I think that wraps up this episode of our review of episode 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you guys make sure you go slap that sub button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. What do you guys think? Also, leave a comment. What you guys think of episode 2? What do you guys are excited for? Like I said, me and Jeff both didn't read the manga, so we're kind of fresh in this. So if you have read the manga, no spoilers, please, in chat or in the comments. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys for episode 3 review next week.
See ya.